Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here to talk about something different than usual. I brought Matthew on to talk about his experience of binging the first 10 seasons. Well, 9 seasons, then he caught up to regular season 10. We talked about that. And now he's watched live season 11. We're here to talk about it. I think we're going to talk about it for the season. Matthew, what's up? First thoughts, now you're watching with the public.
Yeah, I mean, I made a very concentrated effort last season to catch up because of everything I was hearing in the social media streets. And I was able to do that. I think I caught up just in time for the finale. And then obviously super excited to see how things pick up in season 11. Gotta say, a little bit underwhelming for a premiere. I was expecting fireworks, and I don't think we got much of it. It was a lot of felt like a lot of recap, and then a lot of also some of the players in the game playing victim a little too much when really they're not too involved in what was going on. So I think not having Raquel on the season is going to make it a less exciting season. Obviously, I don't think anyone is really a big Raquel fan, but I do think her bowing out is a huge loss for the entertainment value. And then also Sandoval not being on the first episode also was kind of strange. Could they not have waited a week to start filming? I would have liked to see him there in the aftermath of everything. As much as, again, I don't like Sandoval, but having no Sandoval or Raquel immediately following this massive scandal seems like a pretty big L, in my opinion.
Yes. I mean, I think I have to agree that it was a little bit underwhelming as a premiere. As just a regular episode, okay, it's just kind of one of those episodes that's just kind of relaying information to you. It's supposed to knock your socks off, but you'd hope that after having such an explosive season and then all the events that were happening, I wish that we got a little bit more of that. I don't know I don't remember when this was filmed. Has she done Dances with the Stars yet?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind of seeing some of all the hype that she was getting, and couldn't they have put in some cameras in there while she's filming that battery commercial that he was so incensed by? And so it would have been nice to see a little bit more of when it was really energetic, everything that was going really frenetic, really frantic, she's getting so many offers, so many deals. She was everywhere, it girl, on every show, and living in the same house as him. Why were there no cameras there? I know they weren't filming yet, but these are the times when I wanted to see the cameras, the immediate aftermath, especially since they're still living in the same house.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think it was fine as an episode if this was episode 3, 4, or 5, just a filler, middle of the season episode. But just coming off of this crazy finale and crazy reunion, I was just hoping for a little bit more. And I don't know, I'm sure there will be moments this season where it does pick up. But I think it's just they should have found a way to just have this be more of a spectacle, because they knew there's going to be a million eyes on this episode just to see how things unfold. And again, I just think Sandoval just showing up at the very end, not even speaking really, was a bit of a miss as well there too. And then not showing Ariana in all her glory was another miss.
Do you think that maybe their attempt is to have a really big crescendo? So instead of it starting off big and then falling and then kind of going back up again, do you think that they just want to do a slow progression of drama? Because we know that there's going to be some sort of Sheena and Schwartz thing that's coming on down the pipeline. It looks like Brock and Sheena, I mean, everybody kind of knew that they probably weren't in the best relationship, but their relationship's going to be a little bit disjointed. Do you think that maybe they're just trying to save all that stuff, and so they don't want to bring all their heavy hitting out in front?
I think yes. I think that's probably part of it. Like they want to like keep the eyes on the show and like not have it fall off. So I think like hyping up like what's to come is probably a good strategy. My like one worry is I just feel like naturally like this season will probably underwhelm. Just because like it can't match what last season gave us. So I
No.
think they know that too. And it's like, hey, like if we save like the good parts for like a little bit later on, like at least we'll keep viewers and they're not going to fall off once it's like not like if we give them all the excitement in episode 1, 2, 3.
I do think though that it would have been great to have something explosive. Like if
Yeah.
though, like I know that Raquel doesn't want to do the show. We do find out that she was originally doing 45 days in some sort of facility to help with her mental wellness, and then she extended to an additional 30 days. And so I know that she feels as though the show itself is going to be a little bit damaging or not good for her mental health. I understand that. But then she goes on, as he mentioned on the show, I think, or no, they mentioned on Watch What Happens Live, that she went on Bethany Frankel's podcast. Did you watch that podcast that Raquel did?
Yes, and Raquel actually just started her own podcast,
True.
which I think is like an odd choice. And she's like basically like telling her side of the story, and she's also planning on watching the episodes and like, and maybe not like
Recapping.
recapping them,
Or like
but like
talking about them.
yeah, like adding context to things. So she's very much not remaining silent through it all. I wish she just like did the show, even if it was coming in for 2 episodes or come in for a little bit. Like you don't have to be there the whole season, but I think if you're gonna talk on it anyways, and you're gonna like have this platform, just show up and like have a conversation with Lisa. Even you don't have to be talking to Ariana and like filming with everyone, but come do something and get it across.
Well, I definitely think that for the first episode, they should have been like, okay, she's probably would be really expensive to get her for the whole season since she
Yeah.
doesn't want to do it. But if they're like, hey, Raquel, we'll give you $200,000 just to film 2 episodes worth of content, and that might have been content that they could stretch out of the whole season potentially, depending
Absolutely.
on what they filmed of her. And like, I think that it was a miss that they didn't try a little bit hard. I know though the balance of it is her mental wellness. And so like them pushing too hard for their show, like it does look like the network isn't taking care of their people on their show. So I can understand that they're kind of between a rock and a hard place where it's like, oh, like you're the star of this season and you don't want to go on the show, understandably, but like, can you just go on the show?
Yeah. Do you think like Raquel is done, or you think if there's a season 12, 13, like do you think she pops back up again?
Well, no offense to Raquel, but what else does she have going for her right now?
Yeah, like I doubt she's like making a killing doing this podcast. I doubt it will even last that long, to be
I don't
honest.
listen to her podcast. Like I tried listening to her retell her first encounter with Tom, and like I didn't even get through the whole thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like the juiciest part, like hearing like the time when they're having sex in her car, like how that went down, and like it didn't even entice me enough to tune back in or finish that story. I don't even think I heard the whole thing. So
Yeah, it was. I tried to listen to. It's a very tough listen. Like and again, like we don't know the full truth, but just like the way that she's telling her side of the story, it seems like she's just like making shit up. Um, like it does not seem very believable. Like she's very like giggly while she's telling it, and like her producer is like asking random questions, and she kind of gives like vague answers to everything. It's like, all right, like Raquel, like everyone wants to know the truth, but the podcast is a tough listen.
and so like if that's not going to be a hit, like we are people that listen to a lot and watch a lot, and if we aren't able to keep engaged with like the star of last year in the reality TV, I think that she's going to need to find a different gig. Like what else does she have going for her, do you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think she like moved.
Maybe she'll want to get on House of Villains.
I was actually about to say, like, I do think she would be pretty intriguing on House of Villains, and I don't think it's like out of the realm that they would ask her to do it.
I mean, like that would be a good get.
Yeah, I mean, well, because like think about it, like she obviously she's big in the news right now, and like she can also play like the young attractive girl role, like the Corinne, the Anfisa, like she could be one of those. And they already had Jax on. I mean, Raquel is bigger than Jax right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, I agree with you that like that would be pretty interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if she's in talks. We know that there's a House of Villains too, so let's hope that they do their homework and they get Raquel on that show.
Yeah, I mean they should, because right now like everyone's capitalizing off of Scandival, and Raquel's really the only one that hasn't like done something else. So I could see like a network.
Oh, you mean like being paid to do something specific?
Yeah, like I'll go on another show. Like Tom was on whatever that show was, like the army show.
Yeah.
Obviously Ariana was on Dancing with the Stars. She's on
George
Broadway.
Was on Stars on Mars.
Yeah. And then like Lala, Katie, Sheena, like they're all doing the podcast game now. Jax was on House of Villains, and he's in the podcast game. So they're all like kind of making waves, and Raquel is just like sitting waiting in the wings. And when she ultimately does get back on the screen, I can see that being like pretty explosive.
Now, I don't know if it was just a rumor or whether it's true or not, but I did hear that there's going to be a spinoff to Vanderpump called The Valley. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, I saw the preview for it.
Oh.
I believe Jax, Brittany, and Kristen are all in it, and a few other like reality stars I don't know. I think they're from other shows, but yeah, the three of them will be in it, so they will be back on our screens. I don't know the format, if it's like one episode for each of them or if it's the same cast throughout the whole season.
I think it's the same cast throughout the whole season. That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah,
like I feel like it's going to be like a Vanderpump Rules vibe, like after Sir. You know what I mean? Now that they're like just like living their lives, like I think it's going to be that vibe. But the fact that like Jax is a father now, and so like it might be more geared to like maybe some mom stuff, and then Kristen's probably in a new relationship kind of thing.
Well, Jax popped up in the preview for this season of Vanderpump, so it looks like Jax is like all the way back. I mean, that's going to be 3 shows for Jax in like under a year.
He's looking to make some money.
Yeah, Jax is back.
Yeah, Brittany's, I guess, not pulling in any more Weight Watchers money because she had like a Weight Watchers gig where I think she was making like $1 million from it. But so it's just really funny though. Jax was such like he was so egotistical when he was like in his modeling days. And I don't remember if he specifically spoke about like women's body and weight and stuff like that. But like, I would never, ever, ever expect Jax to be with somebody that would be like endorsing Weight Watchers, you know, like never. Brittany has the same birthday as me.
Oh, nice.
Just saying. No, never do.
Very nice.
There we go. Well, let's talk a little bit about the episode. We have a bunch of vignettes, basically like little short scenes. First is Ariana at Tom and Ariana's house. What do you think the rule is behind that gigantic photo of the two of them in their place? Like, could you think that Ariana would have maybe wanted to take that down?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a floor to ceiling photograph of the two of them, like embraced.
Yeah, she broke the what was it, the penis statue or the penis flute. So you'd think like maybe she'd want to break or at least get rid of that portrait, but yeah, who knows? That was I thought that was weird too. Like first thing you see is this giant picture of the two of them, like, knowing that Ariana's like living there.
Could you do it? Could you live if you were Ariana or Tom, either one like perspective? Would you be able to stay and live in that house with the other person?
No, definitely not. I think that like super uncomfortable. I mean, I'm sure like it's quite expensive to live in LA. So I'm sure that part's tough, even for these people that probably do make a nice chunk of change. But it's got to be like super messy. From everything I've heard, like they're like in a massive battle over that house where she basically, well, this is according to Tom. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but he says that he like offered her like $1 million more than the asking price to like buy her out, and she refuses to leave. And
I heard he was buying her out for $3.1 million.
Yeah, that's what he said.
At this point, it's like, Ariana, take the 3.1 million, leave everything, and just buy a new house and spend an extra $1 million refurnishing it. Like, I would be out of there.
Yeah.
You can pay people to do stuff.
Yeah.
You don't even have to bring anything. You just be like, I'm just leaving all my shit. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would have been taking him up on the offer. Like, I guess she doesn't want him to have the upper hand. Her leaving, like, he did the wrong. So, like, why does she have to pack up and leave? But, like, if he's offering her $3 million, like, I'd be like, all right, fine. I'm out of here. I'm out.
For sure.
Hi, Mary. Thanks for being here. Mary was saying the first 5 seasons were peak reality TV. They were really good. I have a friend watching. She's on season 2 right now. And she's like, right now she loves Tom Sandoval. She hates Katie and Kristen. And I'm just like, you're going to go on a ride with these people.
Oh, I have a few of my friends that are watching now as well. And like they've been messaging me about it. Like some of them are like, I have one friend that's on season like 9 and he still loves Sandoval. Like Sandoval's still his favorite. I'm like, all right, just watch season 10 and then let me know. But yeah, it's like a trip. Like a lot of these casts, like one season you'll love them, the next season you just completely hate them. I mean, at the end of the day, like they all have quite a few faults. So it is like it is a good show in the sense that you're always like rooting for someone different, and like everyone can be like so nasty and like hateable at times, with a few exceptions. Like there are a few people that are like seem genuinely nice, but for the most part, like these people have many bad moments and then some good moments too.
Few redeemable ones, yeah,
yeah,
for sure. I mean, I was never a fan of Tom Sandoval, and it was just really funny because actually Michelle's really good friend Tanya, she and I used to talk about The Bachelorette for a while, and I was the only person that she knew that watched any Bravo stuff, and so we talked just like texting wise about Vanderpump Rules, and she's like, Tom's just ironic, you know, you just have to like enjoy the fact that he's just a caricature of himself. And I'm like, no, I think he's actually a really bad person and like he's got you snowed. And like I used to always be so anti-Tom. Just like I just didn't buy his shtick at all. Like the fact that he shaved his forehead should be enough for you to know that he has something going wrong with him. And so we never saw eye to eye with our perception of Tom. And then as soon as the scandal hit, she actually sent me an apology message being like, yeah, you were right all along. And I really misread him as a person. I was like, never was a fan.
Yeah.
Even back in the day when he was like redeemable.
Yeah. I mean, like, so my friend that likes Sandoval keeps saying like, oh yeah, the reason I like him is because like he's the only one that stands up to Stassi. When like Stassi like has her tantrums and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, but like Stassi is like awesome. Like she's like great TV.
Until Stassi was right about certain things and she's making television.
Yeah, like Stassi's just like, she's crazy and like she's like wild. But like she was great TV and like she was often right. So like Sandoval like sticking up to her
like
was not endearing to
thing.
me.
Like I was so mad at him when like he was mad that she had the her book launch at Tom, but didn't ask him about it. But like she went through his business partner Schwartz, and he okayed it, and then he decides to like reprimand her in front. Like it was just like I thought he was garbage at that episode for sure. And then the way that he's always treating Katie, like he's like really despicable to Katie. Yeah, Katie can be kind of mean to Schwartz, but I think she's been beaten down by the fact that Schwartz is such a simp to Sandoval, and like she just must be so frustrated at least like season 9 and 10, you know what I mean, with like that whole dynamic and with the fact that her husband is siding with this man that berates her. Like he's so shitty to women.
Yeah, I do think Katie had a good episode tonight actually. I think like she was one of the highlights for me. I thought it was like nice to see her just like kind of give Schwartz a little shit and then also like give like some sound advice too, where it's like, hey, like I'm not gonna be like the in-between person, like text her, like do shit yourself. Like I'm not doing this. Like she she had no time for Schwartz's bullshit this episode. To be honest, I did think Schwartz was kind of funny this episode too, and like he's been a little annoying, but he was pretty funny tonight.
So my best friend's husband, he owns that restaurant Danny's, and so for Christmas, because I work there every Sunday, we did like a gift exchange, and he got me and I got him, and so he was telling me like what he was going to get me. So he knows that I love sauces and like chili oils and all this stuff. So he got me like a whole spread of different chili oils, and me, like I bought him a blanket that was like a gigantic pizza. So it was like a really funny gift exchange. He's like, but Chantele, you don't know what I almost got you. He's like, I almost got you like a FaceTime, like a video message from Schwartz. Like I almost had that for you, because his friend is doing some sort of journalistic article with Tom Schwartz about, I think about the scotch that they're doing or something, or the whiskey that they have. And so like they've been interacting a lot of times in LA. And so he was almost had not a cameo, but like a video message from Schwartz. So yeah, that would have been something that I got to like play on this and play for you.
I feel like Schwartz like would do a good cameo. I feel like he just like he likes having fans and whatnot. So I think
I can't remember why it didn't happen. Like maybe his friend didn't want to ask him because he thought it was like just like kind of a conflict of interest, like the business people, and we're like, hey, can you send a message to my friend's wife's best friend like for Christmas? Anyways, I thought that that would have been perfect though if I actually got to have that. So Mary here says that Jax is still worse. I'm not buying the redemption that they're trying to give him. I roll. Do you buy the redemption? I mean, I think Jax is pretty deplorable. At one point, like I was really frothing at the mouth, like over Jax and his antics. Him and Sandoval were just so bad. I just remember being so angry at them.
Yeah. I think like to go back to what I was saying a little earlier, like I think like we have to remember that these people are not on TV for this long because they're good people. Like they're on TV for 10 plus years because like they can be pretty nasty, and like nobody more so than Jax and Tom Sandoval. So they're not like the villains of this show for no reason. So yeah, I definitely don't buy like the redemption fully. I'm sure like being a parent has like maybe matured him a little bit, but I don't think he's like a fully like reborn version of Jax at all.
Good guy. Do you think he's been faithful to Brittany?
I hope so. I mean, like, we can only hope.
I hope so too. I mean, I hope so. Yeah, you're right. Just we hope. We see Summer Moon spelling out her name. I thought that was pretty cute. Summer Moon is quite a cute little girl. Allie and James, they purchased their first house. It's quiet except for the fact that it's right beside an airport. Is it LAX or where are they? Are they in the valley? Where are they? I don't know.
I can't remember where they said they were. I don't think they're in. I don't know. I don't think they said they were in the valley. It showed where they were located. I can't remember.
But it's LAX at the airport.
I guess so. But yeah, that was funny. It's like, yeah, it's so quiet here, except for the airplanes every 5 minutes.
That's like, I don't mind sounds, so like it wouldn't bother me at all. There's like a train that goes by here every once in a while, and like the house literally shakes. But like I can sleep through kind of anything, so it wouldn't bother me necessarily. We see Schwartz watering his plants, just kind of setting up that he has a life alone and he has to water his plants himself. Katie then goes and visits Ariana, and they talk about how they're going to be going thrifting for their sandwich shop, getting little saucers and cups for tea. We learned that Tom is in New Zealand filming Special Forces. Did you watch either season of Special Forces?
No, I can't say that I did. I think I tried and I just couldn't get into it.
I watched all the season, or except for the last episode of season 1, and then I watched, I think, the first of season 2. I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. But yeah, I wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah, I definitely tried because there was like some people I really liked on it. It's like a few athletes, like the Bachelor people. Like I really like Tyler Cameron, like Hannah Brown. But even like with them on it, I don't know. I wasn't my type of show. I don't really like care that much about that kind of
What
stuff.
about, what's her name? She's messy. I feel like you would like her. Tara Reid.
Oh, I love Tara Reid. Just like one of my favorite like movie series growing up was American Pie. So I just love I love like when any of those people just like pop up on stuff now, like Allison Hannigan on Dancing with the Stars. So any of that, like Shannon Elizabeth on Big Brother, anytime they pop up, I get like super hyped.
Yeah, well, she is on season 2, so
yeah, I saw that.
If you decide to revisit it, you'll get to enjoy your friend again. So I thought it was funny that Ariana and Tom communicate through the assistant. Like, that's a show that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Right? Let me see like these messages and notes that you're slipping to the assistant.
Yeah, poor girl. Like
I would love that job. What do you mean, poor girl?
Well, according to Tom Schwartz on the Nick Vile podcast, she actually recently just quit her job. So I don't think she loves the
for
job.
Them? Oh.
Yeah, the assistant quits being Tom's assistant.
Well, they probably weren't paying her enough, but like, well, how much would you want to get paid to be able to do that job?
I mean, if you're living in LA, like you got to get paid quite a bit just to like live, right? I don't know. I don't know like what her job entails, but I honestly
would like $10,000 a month. Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I would do that for $10,000 a month for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I'm making over $100K a year being the assistant to Tom Sandoval or whatever, like he sucks, but I don't think you have to like him to be his assistant.
Exactly. Like I would be hate assisting him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy sucks. I'm like, all right, well, get your pedicure and your white nail polish done. Like, it would just be so good. It would be an in-person reality show. Yeah, excellent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I 100% would do it for $10,000 a month. Would you do it for $5,000 a month?
$5,000 a month.
Like,
honestly, I feel like in LA, like
that's not very much money, you know.
Yeah, like that's just like enough to live. And I just don't think it's worth the stress of like dealing with Sandoval. So I think I'll find something else to do for $5,000 a month in LA.
$5,000 a month is not enough money to be able to do it, but $10,000, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That
you get to like be like close to like the sets, like you get to like probably get some behind the scenes. So it's probably worth it at that point.
And like, I don't know what, you probably have to sign an NDA, but like after a certain amount of time, maybe you're allowed to like release when I was Tom Sandoval's assistant, like biography.
Yeah, it's like 5 years later, you just drop all the secrets.
So good. I would do it. So he wants to buy her out. We already talked about that. But so we were assuming that at least at this point, Raquel and him kind of stopped talking, but we do find out that she's been sending him postcards with lightning bolts on it. What do you think is going on with the relationship? Are they done? Do you think she's done, he's done, and she still wants to keep it going? Like, what do you think is happening, or do you have any insight?
Well, the tough part about all of this is like, obviously, like it hasn't been that long since all this happened, but like so much has changed in the last like 4 or 5 months, however long it has been, that like we do have like added context of like where things are at now. And then like we were saying, like Raquel has like come out and like has her side of the story. Like Tom, Ariana, like they all have like different stories. And then like we're seeing something that happened like 4 months ago. So it is like a little bit tricky to like piece together what is like true and what isn't. From what I've kind of gathered, and my best guess is, I think Tom and Raquel were continuing to talk like while she was in like her therapy, and probably once she got out as well a little bit, and then like things like obviously are not strong now. Like I don't think they have any relationship at all right now. But it does seem like, at least for a little bit after, they continued at least a friendship, and probably more realistically.
I mean, at that point, they really only have each other.
Yeah.
So I would probably be clinging on to that, because like, whoa, like us getting together has ruined both of our lives, and then we don't even have each other. I mean, this is what Lala's plight later on this episode is, but yeah, I would think that she would want to cling on to him, and him to her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the glue back his penis flute. Like that's what is that what one of the tasks for the assistant?
Yeah, I would assume that's like, yeah, you know what? I'd be happy to do that as well for $10,000. So, yeah, it's definitely a assistant task. I don't think Tom was gluing that himself.
So why don't you think that Tom has apologized or said anything to James? Like I know that James is kind of like a bit of a brat and like he can be obnoxious, but he paid for his engagement to Raquel a couple years ago, and like you'd think that he'd want to apologize or like set things straight with his boys, like the guys. Like, why do you think that he has not reached out to Sandoval? I mean, to James.
I think like Sandoval was like spending a lot of time like playing like the like victim card, where it's like, well, the reason I did this was because like I felt like abandoned by everyone, and like Raquel was the only person there for me, and just like he spent a lot of time doing that. I wonder like like now that he's back on the show, if like we inevitably do get a scene with James.
Yeah, I mean they set that up this episode because I
Yeah,
think that will happen on camera.
I gotta say, so did you listen to Nick Vile's podcast?
I only started it. I didn't get into it.
Did you get to the part where Sandoval showed up even? The most like cringe-worthy thing, and it's like, Sandoval, it's been so long now. Like, have you not learned a thing? Even if you need to lie and apologize, just fucking do it. But they basically asked him about what happened there, and he put essentially all the blame on Raquel. He's like, yeah, like, what could I do? It was like a girl like in a whipped cream bikini, like Varsity Blues, and I just couldn't resist it. She was like a temptress. She's like, dude, like, come on, like you need to take some responsibility. It's been 6 months. You're making things worse for you now. Like, Raquel is gonna go on her podcast and say like he's full of shit, but it was just like so cringy that like even after all this time, he can't own up to anything.
But like he could have at least by this point have listened to Raquel's podcast so like they can get their stories somewhat straight. Like how dare he even like put it all on Raquel now? Like he couldn't do anything about it. Like poor guy. Poor guy had temptation meet him and ruin his life. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Such an eye roll. But I think it's because he's gotten away with cheating and it's not being that big of a deal probably all of his life. Like we saw it happen with Kristen, like, you know, he cheated and like, oh, she deserved it, and like they moved on and like it was fine, and like I wouldn't be surprised if that's how he's dealt with other relationships in the past. Like he finds a new person and cheats with them and then starts a relationship with them. Like I feel like it's seemingly a pattern in his style. And so the fact that he's not getting away with it this time, I think it's what's sending him into his circuits are shorting.
Yeah. He also, it was pretty funny. He was like, I have learned lessons. Like I've learned like never to cheat on a girlfriend to have 9 years. And they asked him like, wait, what about if you're not dating them for 9 years? Like, what if you're dating them for 1 year? He said, well, yeah, like I just mean like if you're in like a long-term relationship, like you shouldn't cheat. It's like, okay, I don't think you understand the point here, Tom. So he's just like, he is like very cartoony. And like it sucks that he is like very compelling TV, but he's just like such a psychopath that it does make for pretty good TV.
Even James is like, he's cuckoo. He went cuckoo. Yeah. And if James is saying you went cuckoo, because James is pretty cuckoo himself, like that's a bit of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want James to be calling me out like that. So Sheena is another person that like it's all about her, you know. She's sitting on her couch just getting Sandoval flashbacks and like their friend Allie passed away, and so she messaged him and Sandoval didn't respond back, and you know she's blocked, and so is Summer Moon.
Yeah. Both Sheena and Lala, like they tend to just make everything about them. Which it's like a choice. Like I know that like they obviously want their like screen time too, and like they understood the assignment. Like they know what this season is going to be about. So I think both of them definitely feel the need to like get themselves as much into the thick of things as they can early on.
Yeah, definitely. Like they're definitely jealous of the fact that this is Ariana's season, especially not having Raquel there as like
Yeah.
another heroine or fallen heroine or whatever you want to call it, and antagonist. Lala's mom now is living with her. Her brother moved into the same complex. And now Lala's saying that she's like questioning everyone and she starts crying about it. Is this her just trying to build a storyline for herself?
I think so.
Yeah.
I was getting those vibes from her all
It's
episode.
like, what?
She is like an opportunist, with all due respect to her, but she definitely is like trying to like take advantage of the situation, I think.
I mean, the send it to Daryl line like has made her a millionaire.
Yeah.
I definitely think that she's trying to find her next hit, her next soundbite, her next phrase, or whatever. So yeah, I think that she's definitely looking for an opportunity. So Schwartz for the first time is wearing swag from Schwartz and Sandy's as he's having dinner with James. The things that's a big deal, like it's your restaurant. Wear the damn hat. You're gonna have to like be worried. Yes, fine that people might boo you. They might boo you, but like you gotta wear the hat.
Yeah. It's like
I actually like the hat.
yeah, I thought it was cool. It's like, I mean, it's the name of the restaurant and you can wear the hat, you're good.
Anna, my best friend, she would not, I don't know when she's in LA right now, but the last time she was in LA, she went to Shorts and Sandy's, and she's like, it's actually kind of an ironic spot because like nobody cool in LA goes to Shorts and Sandy's. It's all like people, it's like a tourist attraction. And so it's people from all over the states. And it's just like, it's better that way because it's not like a cool hip spot in LA. It's like it's a weird like tourist attraction for tourists, foreigners. I still would go. I want to go.
Yeah, it would be cool to like go to all these like Vanderpump spots.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should. I wonder where do you think that BravoCon's going to be next year? Have you heard anything about that?
I don't know. I'm
Like,
not
when
like
is
that
people gonna
into
press
the like
that?
Bravo verse, so I don't like follow much. I don't even know where it was this past year.
It was in Vegas.
Oh,
And it was in New York before. I know those are the first two that happened. Well, I wanted like I'm hoping that maybe Rob as a podcast will do it. They're starting to do a few more Bravo shows, so I'm like, maybe we can get like some industry passes and like go and see all the different panels.
yeah.
Like I'd die.
Well, that would be cool if Rob flew a few of you out and you could wrap RHAP there.
Love that. Very, very seriously love that. Obviously, we know that the bar was a toxic environment, and the fact that like Schwartz is kind of there putting the pieces together while Sandoval is in like New Zealand and filming this and filming that, and like he creates a big whole controversy. Their bar is like having negative reviews and like it's not in a good place, and he just bounces. Like I'd be really pissed if I was his business partner.
Yeah.
And friend.
Schwartz did say that Sandoval's become like more of a silent partner. Like he's like taken a step back. Like financially, he's still involved, but because of like all the negative attention, like Sandoval like took a step back from it.
Makes sense.
So I think like that might have been more of a mutual decision, or from all parties, like from the investors as well.
Schwartz asked for permission to bitch a little bit because apparently this 2023 was the worst year of his life, or the year before was the whole worst year of his life. He got divorced. His brother was ill. Yeah, has some health issues. He has the bar woes. It was just pretty much overall a shitty year. It is a pretty shitty year. And I really think the fact that he allowed his relationship and business partnership with Sandoval, he allowed that to ruin his marriage. He really, really did. And I think that he needs to take some accountability for the fact that he allowed his marriage to end.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think like deep down, like there is like some good in Schwartz. Like I think he's like a good guy.
I used to really, really like Schwartz and be like, Katie's just so mean to him. But I think that she just was fed up.
Yeah, like he's kind of like a man. He's like a man baby. So like if you're Katie, like you don't want to be married to that. Like he's not like growing up. Like yeah, he can be a nice guy, but like he's like a Sandoval lackey. Like he seems to like care more about like partying with Tom than like any like responsibility. And I can see like he is becoming more responsible and like cares about the business and whatnot. But yeah, like he does need to take responsibility for like how he got himself into this situation, because it was mostly his doing.
And preventable, like at
Yeah.
least some of it. James isn't drinking right now, but he's California sober, so that means he does smoke weed pretty much all day, he's kind of said. But he has an event at Tom Tom and he invited everybody. So it's expected that everybody's going to be at Tom Tom except for one of the Toms. Sheena and Ariana are going to the spa, getting some massages. We learn about Dan. So Dan, we've seen in obviously the press, was a new guy that Ariana was dating. She met him at a friend's wedding. He lives in New York. She lives in LA. So they're doing a little bit of a long distance thing. Do you think that this season Dan will move to LA?
I don't think so. Just based on the preview, seems like maybe like they have like discussions about it, but I could definitely see that being a plot line for like season 12, and like he like enters the cast a little bit more. But I feel like he'll be more like a like spot guest for like he'll appear in a couple episodes here and there. I don't think we'll get like a move to LA immediately though.
So then this is Sheena building in her storyline, in my opinion, saying that she was diagnosed with OCD after this whole Scandival event happened. And I'm just like, I get it. Like these people deal with trauma in different ways. I was just like, well, look at that Sheena now making it all about her and how hard up she is now, and that she was always hearing a therapist or whatever, but her therapist is now putting her on medications, and she's changed the type of medication that she's on, and she can't drink because she's on medication because she has to deal with the OCD that she had as a result from the scandal of it all. And I'm like, way to make it about yourself again, even though like I'm sure these things are actually happening, but like it's just kind of typical that she's going to have such a dramatic response to this affair.
Yeah, there's a lot of with Sheena where it's like, yeah, and like nobody like talks about how this impacted me. It's like, well, yeah, why would anyone talk about that? Why would anyone think that this is like, oh, poor Sheena, like Sandoval cheated on Ariana? So it's just like funny. It's like, no, nobody ever like considers this, like how hard it is for me.
Like if I was in the Sheena position, I'd just be like, oh, I guess I lost a friend.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have to stand by Ariana here because it's like that's a dick move, and like there's nothing really redeemable. Like, I choose Ariana. I and that's not gonna be for me a decision that's going to send me over the edge. Like, I'd have to be like, well, I guess he made his bed, you know? But the fact that it's like so on her that it's like causing her to have health issues, it's like, I don't know. I think it's part of her personality too, to make things that are not really about her. Mm-hmm. And so it's probably why there's a pattern of her developing health issues around trauma. But like, man, I'd just be so drained if I was like Ariana. I'd be like, man, this sucked for me too. Don't worry. Sheena.
Yeah.
Schwartz is still blocked by Ariana. I'd probably still block Schwartz as well. Like, he completely enabled Sandoval's antics, and like I think this is where she was mentioning that he was telling people like, you know, Tom might need a hug too, and it's like he doesn't say the right thing.
Yeah, the text message that she sent him was hilarious though. I was like dying at that, where she's like, yeah, like I texted him, but I don't think it was that bad. And it's like, fuck you, don't talk to me again. Go choke on Sandoval's dirty dick. And like even Schwartz is like, whoa, like, he was like caught off guard reading it. Okay, like that's actually like very good, Ariana. Like great delivery from Schwartz too. That was my favorite part of the episode by far. It was so fun.
It was excellent. Excellent. She needs to have t-shirts that say that.
Yeah.
Mary says, you want a man who can resolve, not a man who can give you everything, but you want a man who can make you feel like he has your back. And Schwartz ain't it. Yeah. Schwartz doesn't make you feel like he has your back. And maybe it's just women, because like we've seen this with obviously Katie, we see it with now Ariana, that it's easier for him to stand up for Sandoval, even though he's deplorable. And then like his wife and friend that are women, he's just not capable of standing up for them.
Yeah. I think a problem with Schwartz and like a lot of people is like sometimes people that try to please everyone please no one.
Absolutely.
So like he tries to please everyone around him and like be like the fun loving like goofy best friend, but like in doing so like he is actually like hurting others
100%.
by like you said, like enabling Sandoval's behavior because he doesn't want to like be the friend that like tells Sandoval what he's doing is wrong. So he lets Sandoval do wrong and then causes more pain to others. And then now like he wants to be like buddy with Ariana and everyone else. And it's like, hey, like you can't have it both ways. Like I get this is your friend, but like you could have done something here to make the situation not blow up the way it did. Like obviously Sandoval still fucked up. Like Schwartz couldn't necessarily stop that, but he could have done at least something. But I think he just didn't want to like be the one to stand up to Sandoval.
He's so annoying. Like I used to like him a lot more than I do right now, but the fact that he's just never capable of standing up for anything, it's a little bit tiring.
Yeah,
you know, it's actually a lot tiring. So James and Allie are all getting ready for the event. Ariana FaceTimes Dan. She says she's nervous about this event. She hasn't been to Tom Tom, or even maybe around the whole group, especially at Tom's restaurant. And so she's a little bit nervous about the event. At Tom Tom, James shows up and Lisa's there, and Lisa tells James to get to work. So he's DJing. And then everybody else shows up. And so when Ariana shows up with Katie, she's kind of like remembering, and we have a nice flashback of when they were first opening Tom Tom and like how they both were still with the Toms at that time. And so it's definitely, I can understand that being a little bit overwhelming for the fact that like it's bringing back memories of how things were.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for her. Schwartz tries to say hi to Ariana. She's not having it. She's like,
yeah, full cold shoulder.
I mean, give him the coldest of shoulders. Like he just thinks that he can always get away with everything by being like, oh shucks, guy. But like, it's too much. Too much. He's an adult now. To a summer of bad bitches. Who made that toast? I didn't write it down.
I don't remember that. I don't remember who said that.
It's probably Lala.
Yeah, it sounds like something Lala would say.
So Lala does pull Lisa to have a little chat, and she talks about how she's feeling isolated, and then she's starting to feel some compassion for Raquel for the fact that like she's realizing that she was the other woman and she had so much hate that was coming her way, and then like now she's recognizing that Raquel is getting all this hate her way, and so she really wants to reach out to Raquel and kind of like be a shoulder for her to cry on. What do you think of this move?
I was like the whole time, I'm like, I do not buy that Lala actually even reached out to Raquel. I think it was like all for the cameras. I just like, I can't like picture Lala like actually caring to reach out to Raquel after what we saw, like how Lala acted at the reunion towards Raquel and Sandoval. It's like, really, like Lala's not going to do this. I was getting vibes like this is purely for the cameras. Like she does not actually want to like be a shoulder for Raquel.
Well, after I'll tell you the answer to that. Katie and Sheena are actually working on their friendship, and so I'm proud of Katie because like I would not be able to do this with Sheena.
Yeah.
Like Sheena was really, in my opinion, wrong to Katie last season.
Mm-hmm.
It was season 9 or season 10? When Kate, maybe it's season 9 or both. No, season 9, I think. Where, you know, she was trying to urge Raquel to be making out with Schwartz and dating Schwartz and having them on their podcast and trying to really push them together. And all Katie was saying, like, this is my ex-husband. Like, there's so many other people in LA. Can you please try to set Raquel up with somebody else? I don't want my ex-husband to be dating anybody in our friend group. Please?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a very rational ask.
100%. I think that was season 10. I think the Raquel and Schwartz happened like early on in the season, and it was like, because remember there's like theories it was like part of the cover up.
Right.
So I think it was season 10, and yeah, that was like totally fucked up by like Sheena. Especially, it's like you're also, not only are they like friends, and like regardless of how close they are to Raquel, they film together, so they're forced to be around each other a lot. Why do you want to be around someone that's like hooking up with your freshly ex-husband? So yeah, like Sheena, big no there from Sheena. So yeah, like good on Katie for being able to like mend fences to like make things a little easier for Ariana at first, and it seems like now like they're getting on better terms. But yeah, that like could not be me. Like if I was Katie there, it's like, no, like fuck you, Sheena. I'm not
I would be so petty with Sheena. Petty,
yeah.
like Sheena's so ridiculous with what she asks of people, in my opinion. Like, I would not be as good as Katie at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was actually impressed by Katie for putting down the sword and like actually saying like, hey, let's all get together tomorrow, the four of us, and like go out together. I was like, okay, Katie's really turning over a new leaf here. At the end of this segment, though, we see Lala. I thought she was making a phone call to Raquel, but it's actually a voice note that she was leaving for her. Like, I was like, oh wow, people leave messages still these days, and I'm like, oh no, they don't, because like I wrote down like, oh, leaves a message. I'm like, oh, let's cross it out. Voice memo,
Yeah.
voice note. It was funny because like I thought that it was so old school for them to be doing that, and then I was wrong because they weren't doing it at all. So she kind of asked Raquel to call her back. Like she I wouldn't call her back from that message. Would you call
No.
Lala back from that message? Like, there's no apology in there, like no reason for why you're calling. Like, if you don't leave a reason why you're calling, I'm probably not calling back if we're not talking.
The thing, and like Raquel is not the smartest, but like I think she's smart enough to realize that if I call her back, or like if I have a conversation with her, it's gonna end up on TV, and I don't want that. It's like I'm stepping away for a reason, like for my mental health. Like this is not good for me. I'm not gonna now like engage in a conversation with Lala so she can like have a moment on TV. So I think Raquel understands that, and I'm gonna tune into Raquel's podcast this week because I want to hear what she has to say about, did Lala really leave a message? Was there more to it? Like, did Raquel write back or call back? I'm curious to kind of find out her side of what actually happened with that. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that podcast later this week.
Katie goes over to bring, I don't know if she's getting the dogs or bringing the dogs to Schwartz's. They kind of talk a little bit. She's quite cordial to Schwartz. And she says that he no longer has any access to her actual life anymore. He wants her to, though, be like the middle person to like get Ariana to start talking to him again or like unblock him. And she's just like, you got to do this yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like, I'm not gonna do this for you, which I'm happy that she, like, he just gets to be such like a wimp about everything. Like, buck up and talk to Ariana. Like,
yeah, I mean, it can't, like, even if she blocked you, like, again, like, you guys film together, like, it can't be that hard. It's like,
arrange and be like, I want to have a meeting with Ariana, so producers, make that happen.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it can't just be like you like bump into her at the bar and like make like a quick little like joke to her and like sarcastically say hello. Like just have that conversation. Like she'll probably like be upset with you, and then like hopefully like you give a sincere apology, and as the season progresses, like hopefully like she is willing to be friendly. But like if you're just gonna play these games, it's not gonna help much. Like you just gotta like, you're going to have to suck it up, like put in the effort, and probably take a little heat at first.
Exactly. But like deal like you're gonna get some heat, Schwartz. He doesn't want to make anybody mad at him.
Yeah.
And so like that's why he doesn't want to go into this confrontation. But it's like, well, you know what? You're gonna have to deal with someone being upset with you if you want to get through this. So deal or not deal. So the four girls go out for dinner. Lala wants lots of ranch for a ranch fest. That's so American. I can't stand ranch flavor for like my fast food. Like,
I don't mind ranch on
chip
pizza.
pizza.
That's like the only thing I really will do ranch with, or like I guess like I could do like chicken wings with ranch, but like yeah,
No, so
I'm
you
not
can
like
do
the biggest ranch guy either. I don't mind it.
it's a very American thing I've found because even Stassi loves ranch, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, I could never have ranch dressing ever again, and I would be happy. Like whenever I
yeah,
see like if they have a wrap, it's like, oh, chicken and ranch or like whatever ranch wrap, Southwest ranch wrap, and I'm like, ooh, no, thank you.
yeah. I'm not anti ranch, but I like it's not like the first thing I'm going for is like a condiment.
No, zero chance. I would never. Do you own ranch? Is it ranch in your kitchen?
No.
Exactly. I've never purchased a bottle of ranch dressing. So Katie does mention that Schwartz does want to talk to Ariana, and she's just like I don't care. Like I'm like, good, just don't care. Like nobody cares, Schwartz. Like figure it out. And then we hear Lala wanting to play devil's advocate. For Schwartz being like, well, he was also a victim of like Sandoval's abuse, and like he was under Sandoval's thumb and all this stuff. And then she turns to Ariana and says, like, I don't know if you like me or tolerate me. Where is this now coming from, Lala?
Again, I think it's just like you need a storyline. Like the storyline's going to be wrapped around Ariana, so it's like, all right, do I have to feud with Ariana now just to like be like the center of Vanderpump? But I never got any sense that she didn't like Lala.
No, me neither. And so they kind of Ariana now has to be like, no, we're good. I love you. Like you're my favorite. Like like everybody. It seems like Ariana has to tell everybody how much she loves them and appreciates them. And it's like everybody should be doing that to Ariana, in my opinion. Like she shouldn't be having to take care of everybody. I think everybody should be taking care of her. But everybody has different roles in relationships, I guess. Then Lala tells Ariana about calling Raquel. And then Lala's defending Raquel. And I thought it was really annoying because it's like, you had definitely a different opinion at the reunion. And this is just, I would be irritated if I was Ariana, being like, this woman ruined my life. And now you want to extend an olive branch to her because like she's getting some backlash over her actions. Like, I'd be pissed.
I wonder if part of it is like, hey, like we need a female villain. Like Raquel's gone, so it's like someone's got to like be like a bit villainous, and like Lala is like happy to like jump in and like take on that role. Or it's like Katie's not going to be a villain. Like Sheena, yes, like could be. Ariana's obviously not going to be. Like she's the hero of the story. So like Lala is like a natural. Like hey, like we need someone to be villainous. Like it can't just be like Sandoval. So like we need a female that's gonna like stir some shit up. So I wonder if like part of it is like production kind of like wanting that, and then Lala like embracing the role too.
Okay, maybe. DM here is saying that Katie is the most loyal to Ariana after watching this episode. Absolutely. Like Katie is never no faltering from her stance here. I mean, obviously before she wasn't the biggest fan of Sandoval, and it actually kind of put a little bit of a rift between her relationship with Ariana. And now that Katie gets to be like, I was right all along.
Yeah.
I love that for Katie, to be honest, because like people were pretty harsh with her with how much she didn't like Sandoval. And I guess she gets to get her just desserts here.
Yeah.
Or he does. Anyways. That's the end of the episode, but we do see Tom returning from special forces and coming in home to an empty house. We do see the lights are out, but that painting of them is still in our sight line. Is it ominous? Like, Is that painting going to get teared down at some point in the season? Torn down?
Oh, maybe that's a good call. Maybe the reason they've shown it so many times is like that is going to get like ripped down.
Yeah!
Maybe
You
Ariana
want the
burns
house?
it.
You can have the house. Take it. Like, just like,
I love Tom just like walking in like so casually and just like walking up the stairs. Hello? Like, dude, who the fuck are you saying hello to? She doesn't want to talk to you. I
maybe.
feel like it was probably not real. Like I'm guessing he didn't really like walk in and like scream hello. And they probably
Well,
what's
he
it called?
probably did, but knowing that she wasn't there.
Yeah, that's true. Like I wonder if maybe like she isn't like actually like fully living there. But it was just so funny, just him walking in like hello, like as if like nothing happened.
Yeah, Shorts is a boy, not a baby. It's so
Yeah,
true. So
yeah,
true.
he's a man baby.
Man, baby, man, child. So that was in the episode. I did watch what happens live, and so they had a few like fun questions. So I'll just like kind of power through the questions that they asked him on the episode. So do you think that Ariana has a right to be annoyed with Lala? So that's they polled the audience, and then it was Lala and Michael Rappaport were the two guests that were also answering these questions.
He's a big fan, eh?
Yeah,
he's funny. I like him.
I used to find him really annoying, but now that he's like all in on like reality TV, I like him again.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you think that Lala has a right to be annoyed with? Sorry, Ariana has a right to be annoyed with Lala.
Like in regards to what? Like in regards to like calling Raquel or?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I think so.
Agreed. That's what the audience said. Do you think that Raquel will respond?
I think Raquel will not respond.
Correct. Well, that's what the answer is. And Lala said she did not respond. So that does mean that she did send some sort of voice note. And I had to go listen to it again now because apparently on the Bethany podcast, she does address Lala sending the voice message.
Oh, okay.
And so Lala said that if she had known whatever Raquel said in the podcast, she would never have sent that olive branch. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that because like I don't remember what was said there. I kind of listened just to parts of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would you want in your corner out of all the four people that were out for drinks? The four women.
Who would I want in my corner? I think you've got to go with Katie, right?
I was going to go with Katie, but the audience went with Lala.
Really? Maybe if it was like an actual like a fight, like if I need someone to like cut someone with words, like I want Lala. But like in terms of like who I want as like a loyal friend, I think Katie.
Agreed. Is it understandable why Sandoval blocked Summer Moon?
No, I think I mean it's kind of uncalled for. Maybe if it's just like, hey, like I just don't want to see Sheena.
Like Sheena could easily have messaged him through like Summer Moon's thing and be able to, but like he probably gets so many messages. Like it's so easy to not respond.
Also, like you could just like mute people, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like view their stuff. You don't have to really see them. I wouldn't block like a child, but
toddler.
Yeah.
Baby.
A little strange. Also, like, why is Sandoval even like upset with Sheena? Like, I know they got into it a little bit, but at the end of the day, like, I think like sure, like block Sheena if you need to. Like, some people block people.
It's probably to hurt Sheena because look how like Sheena reacts. You know?
Yeah, I think blocking the toddler is a little too much.
It's ridiculous. Do you think that Schwartz and Katie will be friends again?
Yes, I think they will.
Agreed. That's what the audience said too. Should Sheena get a new couch?
Should Sheena get a new couch?
Well, considering it's making her relive all these terrible.
Yeah, get a new couch. You can afford it, I'm sure.
That's what I said. And then Lala was like, couches are expensive.
Yeah, couches are expensive.
It's $5,000. Like, get a couch.
Also, like, what you just like get a brand deal with a couch company. I'm sure you could get one for free.
Exactly. Sell that one that you have. I'm sure that you could probably get a pretty penny for like the couch where you said those lines on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
auction it off and buy a new couch. And then you don't watch Housewives of Salt Lake City, right?
No.
Okay, so the other question was about that. Who do you trust the most on Vanderpump?
Who do I trust the most? Like with a secret or?
Isn't they just? I don't remember if it was a longer question.
I'm gonna go Katie again.
Katie was the right answer. And what about the least?
Who do I trust the least? I
And this was
mean,
directly, I think, to Michael and Lala.
I think honestly, like probably maybe Sheena.
I mean, I would just trust Tina. They said no one. She's like, I trust them all with my life, or something like that. But
Like
I'm
the
like,
thing is, like the easy like answer would be to say like Schwartz or Sandoval, but like I actually do think like you can probably trust them with things because like I
they didn't
mean
say anything for a while.
Schwartz kept Sandoval a secret for quite a while. So yeah, I think Sheena is like the one that's most likely to go around like gossiping about you and like reveal a secret.
Yeah, no, I would never trust Sheena. She's
Mhm.
she's too sketch, in my opinion. Who has the worst taste in men?
I'm gonna go with Lala.
They went with Ariana. Clearly.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think all of them have pretty bad taste in men,
True.
but
I mean, Dan seems like he's a stand-up person.
who does?
Dan, her new boyfriend, Ariana's new boyfriend.
Oh yeah. He seems like a nice guy. But like a lot of the men that all of them have dated have been quite the red flag. I mean, Lala's ex-husband is like something else. Like he's like straight out of like the Harvey Weinstein playbook. So I definitely don't trust that.
Yeah.
Sandoval obviously has his issues. Schwartz, I mean, Schwartz looks like a saint compared to those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw Schwartz on Winter House, and there's a girl that he was starting to see named Katie, and he couldn't even say her name for like 4 episodes. Like, her name was Katie Marie, and Katie's name is Katie Marie as well. And like, it was he just wasn't able to do that at all. So who has the biggest ego?
I will go with
girls though, but
of the girls only. Yeah, I'll go with Sheena again.
that is the correct answer. Sheena definitely is the biggest ego. Who's the biggest cheerleader?
Honestly, like I think probably Ariana.
They said Sheena. Who holds a grudge?
Lala.
Katie is who they went with.
Really?
I guess maybe she didn't choose herself. And who's the quickest to forgive?
Quickest to forgive? Probably Katie as well.
Quickest. They went with Sheena again.
Okay.
Kind of like Katie took her a while to start forgiving Sheena.
Yeah.
And Sheena's already like forgiven, I think, Tom.
Yeah, that's fair. Does that make sense?
And then, okay, so then they asked her, "Are you jealous of Ariana?" And she said no.
She said no, but the answer is yes.
The answer is yes. And then Kristen Doty apparently had on her podcast just talking about her friendship with Lala, and that she doesn't think that there's going to be a potential friendship moving forward for the fact that she hadn't reached out at all or sent any sort of message to her. And so Andy was asking if there was going to be any room for reconciliation. She's like, well, I think that she was onto something on her podcast. The fact that I haven't reached out probably means that I will never. So their friendship will never be mended at all. I think that's it. Was there anything else? Watch What Happened Lies is fun.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll listen to I get the clips on like TikTok, which I like. So I don't like always listen to the whole thing. But sometimes when there's a good guest on, they do a really good job with that. Like they get like big names. Like sometimes like A-list celebrities are popping up on
I was kind of like, I think that my life goal right now is to be on Watch What Happened Live.
I loved when Phaedra was on a few weeks ago talking about CT being like the house daddy.
Oh my god, I meant to show that clip to Jonathan when I was recapping The Traitors. I love how much she loves CT.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like enjoy like what Andy does over there. I mean, like that guy's got the best job in the world. Just like running all these shows.
He created himself, right? This is all his creation, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's it's like an awesome like thing that he's got going. So like, I mean, respect to him. Like he does these shows every day and like they still get great guests every single time. It's like pretty impressive.
Mary says Katie does hold a grudge, but sometimes that's a good thing. I mean, I don't know if I hold a grudge, but like people will just be deleted. Like I just will be like, you're not you like I don't care about you at all. You know? So it's not
Yeah.
really a grudge, but it's like I'm done. If I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm like the type of person where even with like strangers, like if I see something on Twitter that I don't like, I immediately block the person. It's just like, you know what? Like I don't know you, but I don't like what you're saying, like in response to my tweet or like a tweet that I'm following. So and like I'd rather view things that I agree with than like
Yep.
view your like controversial shit to me. So
I agree.
I block like crazy.
I do quite a bit of blocking or muting. I'm just like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't want to see any more tweets from this person. I don't like the tone, or like I don't like their stance, or I don't like their position here. Or like,
I've been getting in like challenge Twitter arguments a
oh
lot
my god,
lately.
what happened?
And anytime someone like starts like talking, like spewing like bullshit at me or stuff that I don't agree with, immediate mute. Like people were like talking shit about like Ashley and Amanda. I'm just like, you know what? Like not here for it. People were like saying stuff about like Danny McRae. I'm just like, you know what? Like I'm not even gonna argue at it anymore. I'm just gonna mute, block, mute, block. It's like it's my Twitter. I want to see things that I like on
Absolutely, and I'm only laughing because like I'm not as aggressive, we'll say,
there.
but I don't post as many things where people might respond, you know, with like in a way that like is not in agreement with how I believe. So
Mhm.
I would definitely be blocking. So
Yeah.
it's hilarious though. Well,
It's fun.
anything else to about this episode before we sign off?
No, I mean, again, like I think like maybe not the greatest premiere episode. I'm still excited for the season. I'm sure there'll be moments like it's not going to live up to last season, so I'm not like getting my hopes up too much. But I do still think we have some fun here. And what I think will be really fun this season is just like the social media of it all, like the
Mhm.
watch what happens lives, like all the like after stuff is going to be very exciting. So I'm excited to like follow along live for the first time and
Yeah,
being getting to like experience like all these like crazy people on the social media streets and the show. So
100%.
it's exciting.
Absolutely. And so anytime you want to pop on, that'd be amazing because like I do love hearing your perspective of all reality TV. So this has been a fun time for sure. And I think I'm gonna make it a habit of watching earlier on Bravo so I can also watch what happened live because I think
Yeah.
that it's a nice little addition to the recap. So I'll be doing that in the future as well. Thanks to everybody here in the chat. You guys are awesome. We love you for sure. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video. And what do we want to know, Matthew? Do we
Uh
think that Raquel will make a mini cameo?
yeah. Do you think Raquel is done with Vanderpump Rules or will we see her again at some point?
This season or in a future season? For sure. Maybe do you think that maybe she'll decide to go to like the valley? So it's kind of like adjacent to Vanderpump, but like still like in the world.
I just think that would be weird because like does she even like know those people? Like I'm sure she knows them, but is she like
Well, she
friends
would
with
have to move there, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's not that wild for the fact that all the housewives, they don't necessarily know each other before they're like supposed to be best friends, right?
Yeah, my call is in season 12, she'll make an appearance. Like even if it's just one episode, I think like we won't see her this season at
And you're
all.
like, she's back, and you just see like her like walking, kind of like how they did with Kristen Doty coming back to Vanderpump to do that little spell with Ariana.
Yeah, I could see something like that where it's like, hey, like she's gonna like we're gonna have a 5 minute conversation with her and Lisa, or her and Sheena are gonna sit down and have a quick conversation. But I don't think this season. I think it'll be next season. But I get like House of Villains would be super fun.
And do we think that she is going to get the call for House of Villains? What kind of work do we think that's going to happen to Raquel? All about Raquel. We want to hear all your thoughts about Raquel, where she is right now, what she's doing, where she's going. And we'll talk about it again next week. Thanks, everybody.
Yes. Bye.